siempre?
Que sí, he dicho siempre.
Muy bien.
No English or what?
Sí.
Or
Yes,
sí?
we speak in yes, we speak in English. We are finishing the book and then
And then what?
Then we can do the Spanish version of the book.
Then we make a Spanish version.
It's the plan,
Oh, oh.
which will be very funny with my Spanish.
Yes.
So how are you?
Good. What are we going to do next week?
We are going to we are going to Santa Barbara de Casa to visit Juan Tenorio. What is the name in the book?
Don Carlos.
Don Carlos.
It's in both books?
I believe so.
See?
Yes. Yes.
No.
Yes. So the first healer that you met in Spain.
Yes.
We found out. We did online detective work. Very exciting.
Yes.
And found his number, his contact. Oh, well, not his number. The contact of the lady who makes the appointments to see him. And so you haven't seen him in?
Oh, no. 30 years?
30 years? Yeah. Are you excited?
I like to go.
Yeah.
I like to go.
Yeah. So the next time we might be able to talk about that.
Maybe. If there's something to talk. we don't.
That's right. Yes.
We don't
who
know
knows?
what
Who
is
knows?
waiting for us.
Yeah. And any other news?
Huh?
Any other news that we would like to share?
Yes, that I'm still alive.
The floods haven't taken you
The
away?
flood. Oh, yeah, the flood. We had big flood in the village. Oh, yeah.
Luckily we live in the Barrio Alto.
You tell them.
part.
You tell them. I'm busy
Oh,
right
pooh.
now. So you tell them what happened in the village. What? They opened the dam.
Yeah, so it was raining, I don't know, some newspaper article said the rain of 4 years in 20 days. So that's a lot of rain. So the river was already swollen up, and then we have the dam here to the water reservoir, and they had to open it. We actually saw it within 5 days.
They let out every moment. They had to open the dam. They let out every moment.
Well, they start
First 3,000.
3,000 liters per second. Then they increased it to 15,000, and at the highest peak for I think a few days, it was going at 100,000 liters per second.
100,000 liters per second coming
Yes.
out.
Yes, and all of this water, of course, is coming from the mountains, from the rain, and we saw it. We saw that on the Saturday before they opened it, it was only half full, the lake. And then on Thursday they gave the announcement that the next day they would start to open it because it was 98% full already. So incredible amounts of water. The next village down the river from us was what is it called? Everyone had to leave, evacuated.
They had to evacuate.
They had to evacuate the entire village. And our village, well, the whole urban zone was fine, but
The garden land is
everything
gone.
down by the river, the garden land is gone. But it seems that nature is taking back what it had before, because some older people from the village are saying that now the river is going again in the way that it used to go before. Over the time, come Cookie. Over time they had tried to make it more straight and gain more garden land. But of course it's a lot of destruction of infrastructure.
And there was a fish factory for
A
trout.
fish farm, yes.
Fish farm.
Hmm.
Fish farm gone.
Yes. Which everything that was destroyed in terms of infrastructure is human-built infrastructure. The mountains are fine.
Mountains are still fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now our river will be free of the fish farm amount of poop and growth hormones
they
and
gave
all of
to
that.
it.
Yes,
No, good. You're still alive.
we are still alive. The road that gets us to Granada and that gets the autobus, that gets the bus to come here is broken. They're fixing it now, but that of course means that our life here is very quiet.
Yes.
Because most of our guests cannot come to us.
Very good.
So,
Holiday.
holiday. Yes.
Now you will start to read, or
We go to India?
Yeah, now make a ping. Now we're in India.
Oh, doom. Okay. Guru Ganga had quite a complicated name, and so we decided to just call him Guru Ganga. On the street in Rishikesh, I suddenly heard a shout. Hello, do you remember me? There was the young man who asked me about my intention to come to India. We greeted each other and I asked him where he came from. He was from Calcutta, quite far from here. And he said that he had come to Haridwar only to meet Guru Ganga, whom he had heard about. And what happened when you met him? The Guru directed me to sit next to him and he immediately began to tell me a lot of details about my own life. Things he had absolutely no way of knowing. Then I asked him the question. And what should I do now? Guru Ganga's simple answer was, get up early in the morning and pray.
The most difficult task. Maybe the guy was not stupid and did not ask him, what do you mean by early?
Yes.
Because then still he can define that.
Yeah, though there is the practice to get up at sunrise in India to do your morning prayer.
Yeah, and there's another practice. They say, my master said, whenever you wake up at night, that's the time when they're calling you. So you stand up and do your things.
Marco the Italian and his girlfriend Violetta went to Haridwar again to meet the Guru. These people are extremely poor and Marco decided to give him a little money. But when he opened his wallet, there were only several 500 rupee notes. 500 rupees was about the same as 10 euros at that time, a lot of money in India. But since the idea came to his mind, he decided to give one of these notes to the Guru. He asked Guru Ganga if he would allow him to give him money. The Guru replied in the affirmative, and with the banknote in his hand, he began to laugh and said, "Thank you very much. I'm happy about your gift, but you can probably imagine what I'm going to do with it." The Guru gave the money to the first person that passed by and said, "We don't need anything from anyone."
Yeah. The difference in selling a yoga teacher training certificate for 2,000 euros and you can have it in 2 days. Or you give some money to these people and say, we don't need that, thank you.
Yeah. Then the Guru came to Rishikesh, to the house of his friend Bole Baba. He wanted to spend a few days with us. We sat together on the terrace eating and the Guru shared details about his own life. Suddenly he looked at me and asked, "How old are you?" I didn't know how old I was. Really not. He said, "Well, you're over 50 years old." "Yes, that's true. I know that." And then the number 56 came to mind. "Yes, I'm 56. The Guru looked at me with a smile and replied, "How strange. I received information that you are 57 years old." I thought for a moment and told him that my birthday was in a few weeks, and so everything would be fine. When I later got to the hotel and checked my passport, it turned out that I was already 57 years old. So the mind.
how one can be so sure about the message or the intuition that is coming. I mean, you're talking to the person, it's absolutely not normal that the person would say, "I don't know." No? So then it could also not be reading the mind, because I was convinced I was 56. You said, "No, information came to me that you are 57. No, and how, I mean, to overcome that fear of failing, of saying something that maybe later turns out it's not the truth, no? In that moment, in talking about the age of a person, the person is sitting in front of you and he said, I know better your age than you. I mean, what is that? Oh, we have no music today. This is a very sad day now, today, without music. Maybe you could sing for a while? Or maybe
Better not.
Better not.
Better not.
Okay, go on reading.
Also, singing and reading at the same time might be difficult.
No, but you said that you are the Bauchsprecher. Okay.
Bole Baba had invited us to go on a little journey with him. He told me that he would take me to a place I could come back to later in my life whenever I felt the need, in my dreams or visions. He asked us to come to his house the next morning around 8 o'clock. Since this seemed a bit early, we thought about it and commented. Someone from his household advised us not to worry. He won't go with you anyway. He's never traveled with anyone before. Now this is where the corrections are coming in, and let's see. The next morning, when we arrived at the Guru's house, there was a young woman from Africa who was visiting the Baba. The Baba asked me if she could come with us on our trip. Her name was Sitara, and of course she was allowed to come with us.
She asked him, and he said, no, you have to ask Effendi. If he allows you to come, you can come.
And so you said, of course, she can come. So we began the journey in 2 taxis to a cave where a very well-known guru...
Now wait, because he was there very early in the morning, and then he took a big piece of textile, orange, of course, and he doubled the...
He made folds from it, no?
But with both hands from both sides, folding it. I was staring at him. I said, how can you do that, no? And when he came to the middle, he threw it over himself, put a belt around him, and said, this is for my feminine part that needs some decoration today.
Nice.
Very beautiful. These people are very handsome and
so elegant.
And then with his walking stick, with thorns, if by chance.
Humans or dogs?
Huh? Oh, I don't
Maybe
know.
anything.
Or spirits. I don't know what he was waiting for.
So, actually there's a lot in this paragraph, no? So, someone from his household said, anyway, he's never traveled with anyone, but he did.
But he did. But he never went from. He never traveled with. Maybe he traveled with his students, not to go to Haridwar or whatever. But he never went with no one.
And then that he considered you as the person who would need to decide whether the African young woman could come along. So we began the journey in 2 taxis to a cave where a very well-known guru had lived long ago, Guru Vashist. The Baba had told us about Guru Vashist. The cave was completely dark, so you couldn't see your hand in front of your eyes. And yet, once you were in the cave for a while, the room lights up. This is one of the miracles that Guru Vashist left us. And that's how it was.
He told us before, he said, look, when you go into the cave, it's completely dark. No, even when we went in, they took our head, go a little bit down, no? And it was completely dark. And then sitting there, and it was not that your eyes are getting used to the darkness. No, suddenly light came up. And you could see everything perfectly in the cave.
Beautiful. As we entered, the Baba and Shashi protected our heads with their hands so that we did not hit some low-hanging rocks. We all sat on the ground where the Baba instructed us. After a short while, the room began to become bright. So bright that you could see all of the details. In front of us was a kind of altar, slightly higher than the rest of the cave. There was a small spring of fresh water right in front of the altar, and we were asked to drink some of it. The Baba and Shashi sat with their backs to the altar and looked at us. On the left side of the altar was a life-size male figure. A man wearing only a loincloth and in the position of meditating. This creature was immobile. You couldn't even hear it breathing. Nobody said a word. I myself wondered whether this figure...
or see, I remember I was looking to his belly, to see something, that he's breathing or something. No. You couldn't see anything.
So I myself wondered whether this figure was a living person, or even a wax doll or a statue, and I couldn't come to a decision about it. Later we left the cave and went down to the banks of the Ganges. Here too, no one brought up the strange statue. The water was completely calm, a mirror-like surface, without the typical noise that the river made on its way into the valley. The cave was located upstream from Rishikesh, and these days this region is popular for rafting. The gurus sit on the bank and meditate while the ruthless Westerners sail their boats down the river shouting and cheering.
Yeah, these
Westerners and
poor
Indians
people
too.
are sitting there in meditation next to the river, and these Western people come there shouting like idiots with their rafting boats.
Whom they call Mother Ganga, no?
Yes.
Well, here the water surface was smooth and calm. The Baba told us about Guru Vashisth, who had expressed a desire for calm waters because the loud noises were bothering him during meditation. The river was wild as always, a little upstream and downstream, but not here.
And he said, well, he made a prayer. Look, it's disturbing, this shh of the water. Could you calm that?
Which we now hear all the time.
No, you hear now the river the whole time. No? And they said it's maybe for 1 or 2 kilometers, it's completely calm. And there where we took the bath, when we went on that trip, there were waves like 1 meter high in the river, and you had to chain yourself. He said, you should go into the water because that's good for your ancestors, or I don't know what that was. It was a pleasure, it was very cool, but these waves, you had to put a chain around you and then go.
I remember that from Haridwar. Like everywhere on the bank of the river you have these poles and chains and people are chaining themselves to it or holding on to it. A few years later, Sitara, the African woman who came along, told us that she had gone to the cave again with a few friends. But this time there was no figure or statue on the altar. As they left the cave, they asked an old couple who looked after the cave where the statue was, whether it had been taken to another location for restoration or cleaning. There is no statue there. The guru appears every now and then when certain people come to visit, was her answer. A visit.
And I
A
thought,
spirit visit.
I thought that the guy, I said, maybe he's Spanish. Because he was not like dressed in India. It was only something here. I said, maybe some one of these new age people without any respect, sitting there on the altar and making the show of meditation.
So do you sometimes in your dreams or visions
Sometimes
or travels go there? After visiting the cave, we drove several kilometers further up the river and came to a place where the Ganges flows into another river.
There's a bath.
According to the Baba, this was a place where one should bathe, and the water would wash away all the burdens placed upon us by our ancestors. Here the waves were more than 1 meter high, and you had to chain yourself to avoid being washed away. The water was icy cold, but it was still a great pleasure
Why, he did not go into the water, not his companions, only us.
He didn't need to.
No, it was already done for him.
The water was icy cold, but it was still a great pleasure to feel the power of the flowing water on your body. Everyone bathed except the Baba and Shashi. Who knows? Maybe they were aliens and had no ancestors.
There were two rivers coming together. So one was like crystal clear water, like bluish, grey, you know, and the other was brown. And they came together, and then for the whole, maybe 1 kilometer, you could see still the river. The water was separated, no, brown and blue.
When we returned to Rishikesh, Bole Baba thanked me for the lovely day he had spent with us.
We went to eat. We came to a restaurant, and he said, "So, what do you want to eat?" And the Shashi was our translator, so we could talk perfectly. And I said, "No, what are you going to eat?" And he said, "Well, I eat some potatoes with these black seeds. You know them, no?" He said, "If you eat potatoes, you should always put these black seeds, but because potatoes are not without the seeds good for us, no?" So he ordered this small plate, and I said to the waiter, "So, potatoes for everyone." And Bole Baba looked at me and said, "They all have to eat the same thing?" I said, "Yes, because I will eat it, and they all have to eat it. I will not give them a choice, a chance to choose." No, because I do that often as an exercise. Give up choice. If you do not give up choice, then you will never come to the point to we hear and we obey. Means intuition comes to you and you will do whatever comes to you because you will choose. You will say, "No, it's not the right time. I don't want it like this or like that." So just, for example, going to a restaurant and say, "Please give me some food," and they come with a menu and say, no, I didn't ask for that. I want some food. Just give me some food. You will decide what I'm going to eat. No, just to learn that, to give it up. No.
I had a nice experience. Remember with that a few days ago with my wrist?
Yes. Tell it.
I don't know.
So for people to know, Lena is an poopa girl. She always has something.
She always has something.
Oh, my finger, oh, my wrist, oh, my head, oh, my...
Well, anyway, this wrist there's some inflammation that happens sometimes and I cannot bend it. And so I know what I need to do, which is what the healer that we go to told me. Basically a water bath every morning. But this time around, which always worked, but this time around it wasn't getting better and it was already 10 days. And in the bathroom while brushing my teeth, that is when...
The bathroom is
the
place where intuition is coming, yeah?
Yes.
For some people, I don't know, for others. But
And it just said, take Lala Alu's blanket and put your arm in it and go to bed with that.
Lala Alu, the healer from Morocco.
Si, Lala Aisha in the book.
The holy beast.
Lala Aisha in the book? Si. Yeah, we had gone to Morocco more than 3 years ago, and she had given us some gifts, amongst them a blanket, which we have never done anything with it. It has been in my cupboard for more than 3 years now. And it just came as an idea, and so I did that. And the next morning it was completely gone. Not better, just completely gone.
You're lucky that the hand is
that
not
the hand
gone.
is still there. Yeah, it's working very well.
Okay.
Now that Bole Baba had taken pleasure in traveling with us, he invited us to accompany him to Haridwar. We visited several temples together and then he took us to a large tent where a guru friend of his stayed. This place was very clean and organized. We were brought water in a canister and a few glasses. In India, every foreigner is instructed to only drink water from purchased, closed plastic bottles. The bacteria present locally are too dangerous.
Purchased in a shop, not from little child from the street because they close it again.
And then after you have used it, you're supposed to crush it so that they cannot be reused either. Yes. All the things we've got to do. The bacteria present locally in the water are too dangerous for us. So we all looked at the canister doubtfully, not knowing what to do. We definitely didn't want to offend our host, but we also didn't want to perish from diarrhea. Shashi, who had noticed our looks, remarked, "Never before in your life have you drunk such clean water." Everyone drank, and no one got sick. There was a little girl there, about 7 years old. We all thought the guru was her grandfather. This man was about 50 years old and told us about one of his students who, when he was still single, had asked him to be allowed to marry. In India, there are students who follow the path of being a sadhu, single or married. The guru gave him permission, but on one condition: the first child would live with the guru. This little girl was that first child and seemed to really feel at home here. Something like that is normal in India, but here it would probably be considered kidnapping.
No, the girl always sitting on his lap, running around, very beautiful young girl.
The guru asked if anyone had a question. My master had always instructed me not to ask questions, but he had left this world a very long time ago. Since Shashi was helping us as a translator, I gathered all my courage and asked the following question. Something happened. Okay. We are still okay. We are still okay.
Okay.
Okay. I gathered all my courage and asked the following question. All my life, inexplicable things have happened around me. Every Baba or healer I met confirmed that I belonged to their strange family and also have the gift of healing. And yet, every time someone asked me directly for help, I didn't want to do my job. Maybe because I was afraid of failing, or maybe I was afraid of being capable and then patting myself on the back and probably becoming an arrogant person. The guru looked at me and replied, "Your question was here before you arrived. And the answer of your God also came before you. You could have asked your creator yourself, but since you prefer to ask one of his gifted servants, I will give you the answer. You have the gift of healing, and your method of healing relies solely on touching the person, and the person will be healed. If the person needs a more understandable process, you can do whatever you like, but it is not necessary for healing." For a while, this answer helped me have a bit more confidence. For a while. And then it went away
You
again.
know, the first healer where we go to next week, when we came to him, he always said, "Give me your hand," and then he would, with his pencil, make some crosses on the lines of your hand, no? And then he would start to talk, no? So apparently he was reading from the lines of the hand, no? And I said to my wife, I said, "That's bullshit, that's nothing." No. But I didn't say something to him because I was always in a different state when I entered there. But one day, after several times going back, and I came in and I gave him my hand, he said, "Well, look, I don't need your hand. It's for you to calm you down." So it means that you think that something reasonable, still reasonable, is happening here. No, because what I am or what he is doing, it's not explainable, and that in the beginning for people can be very unbelievable, and then maybe also the healing process will not work, or they would not come back, or whatever. So what they told me, you need a stage, no, to do something where the person said, yeah, I know that, I'm putting the tarot cards or using a pendulum or whatever, but it's not the pendulum, not the cards, not that, not that, not that. It's the soul of that person, the connection of that person that is healing. But the patient or the client, or how you want to call it that, they need in the beginning, and you maybe in the beginning also need something to get used to it. Because for you yourself to believe, on one hand, maybe you say, well, maybe I could be a special person, but on the other hand, you do not believe that. You no, why me? What is it? How is it? And you cannot grasp it, how it is and how it works. No? So it's all something floating in the air. So in the beginning, maybe there need to be something that is for both explainable.
Hmm.
No? And then the healer does it only for the person coming in. What happened?
True?
I don't know, in the book.
Ah. Later I asked Marco and Violetta if they wanted to ask the Guru to get them married. Violetta loved India, spoke some Hindi and studied Indian dances. The Guru agreed, and in half an hour everything was ready for the big affair. There were songs, flowers, hugs and gifts. What fantastic memories for both of them. Should we take a break here?
Yes,
Yes. Okay.
break.
Hasta pronto.